Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday the 16th of January 2026. As you can see by the title of the video, Mill have signed an exciting young player. Unfortunately, I've got some bad news. He's already a Millwall player. Yes, what we have done is Mill have extended the contract and given him a new Mill contract to Sheldon Kendall. So we've signed a player who we already have on contract. Millwall Football Club is delighted to announce that Sheldon Kendall has signed a new long-term contract at the Den. Kendall, 18, has made 3 first-team appearances for the Lions so far, following his rise through the ranks with the club, and will now remain in SC16 for the foreseeable future. Well, unless he goes out on loan. Sheldon made his Mill debut in a 3-0 Emirates FA Cup third-round victory over Dagenham and Redbridge in January 2025, and has played twice in 25-26, both in the Carabao Cup, with substitute appearances coming against Newport County and Coventry City in rounds 1 and 2. Kendall is a regular feature in Kevin Nugent's under-21 side, and also appears for Chris Perry's under-18s outfit. Sheldon's new contract is a reflection of the trust we have in him and a belief in his long-term potential, said Scott Fitzgerald, Academy Director. He embodies the standards we expect from our Academy players, and professional, committed and always willing to learn. And we're excited to see him continue his development with us and take the next steps in his journey. Congratulations, Sheldon! ! Yeah, there you go. So far in this transfer window, we've extended Sheldon Kendall's contract, we've extended Jake Cooper's contract, we've let Bender go back to Fulham, and we've loaned out Kamal Grant to Blackpool. So there you go. And we've also loaned someone else out today, and we'll get into that probably in about 10 minutes time. But before we get that down there, I must tell you about this nonsense. Club statement. No corner flag this time. They've moved on from the corner flag, and they've gone with the lights, from Max Amaze, the amazing lights, and the new white seats. So they're showcasing it all, and you can see, on the left-hand side, just about the safe standing. So it's all there in this new picture that they use anytime there's something important to talk about. We finally have the ruling from the Football Association regarding the melee at the beginning of December against Bristol City. Do you remember that? So Millwall Football Club can confirm it has been fined £30,000 by the Football Association for a breach of FA Rule E20.1 during its Sky Bet Championship fixture against Bristol City. In addition, and with immediate effect, David Livermore has been handed a 4-match touchline suspension, while Joel Coleman has received a 2-match suspension, both for breaches of FA Rule E3.1. The club accepts the sanctions imposed and has cooperated fully with the FA throughout the disciplinary process. Short and sweet. Now, what you don't realise is part of the ruling that the FA hand out is that they have to publish this on their website. So this is why they do it. It's literally part of the rules that you have to tell your fans what you've done. So there you go. Now this is standard. This is the club itself being in the naughty step. We're still under probation, but that's for the fans' behaviour. I think that's still going on at the moment from the Crystal Palace game earlier this season, the 1-1 that we lost on penalties. We got in trouble for that, and the charges for that are still going through. That's, mumbo-jumbo, DEI nonsense. It has to go through all that, because someone said some verboten words. And we cannot have that. You cannot do that. But this is regarding something else. So this doesn't affect that. This is the football players and the coaches and stuff themselves. So now moving on to this, which might give us a bit more detail. This is from southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall and Bristol City sanctioned for post-match melee. David Livermore, Joel Coleman, Joe Williams handed suspensions. So yeah, this is a point of contention Millwall and Bristol City have been sanctioned by the FA for the post-match fight that broke out after the Lions beat the Robins 1-0 in December. It was alleged that both clubs failed to ensure their players and/or technical area staff did not behave in an improper and/or provocative and/or violent way after the final whistle, and the two teams admitted the charges against them. Bristol City has been fined £40,000 and Millwall £30,000. That is interesting. Now, is the level of fine relative to the apportioned blame? Does that mean they got 10,000 extra because maybe it's because it was their home game? I don't know. Maybe it's because they started it. Maybe it's because it's slightly off on that side that they were the one daily instigators. Lions coach David Livermore and goalkeeper Joel Coleman were also individually charged by the FA for acting in an improper manner, and we heard all that and/or stuff. Livermore admitted the charge and has been handed a 4-match touchline ban and fined £1,400. Coleman denied his charge. Okay. But the Regulatory Commission found it to be proven he's been suspended for 2 games. 3 Bristol City players, Joe Williams, Harry Cornick and Ross McCrory, were also charged, and all 3 received a 3-game suspension. And it doesn't say it there, but I do believe that they all admit the charges as well. So that's interesting. I didn't notice that earlier today when I saw all this coming out, that Coleman actually denied the charge. So maybe that's what held everything up. But then, in the statement, the melee started after the final whistle when Bristol City captain Jason Knight shoved Alex Neil in the chest after the Lions head coach had tried to shake hands with his opposite number, Gerhard Struber. Both coaches claimed after the game that they had tried to shake each other's hands and had both been ignored. Well, it takes 2 to tango, doesn't it? But Jason, noticed there Jason Knight was not charged at all for anything. So here's the thing. This is absolutely pathetic from the FA, because one of Bristol City's players, I think it was Joe Williams, got his suspension today. Livermore and Joel Coleman got their suspensions today. Now, obviously, I didn't know, but Coleman denied his charge. Livermore admitted his charge. 2 Bristol City players who admitted the charges got their suspensions last week. They got theirs last week, which meant they missed 1 FA Cup game, and then the rest is the league games. Ours are both all league games. So what the hell is that about? Why is it incidents from the same game? Why has half of it been dealt with last week and half of it's been dealt with this week? And I understand Coleman, because obviously he denied the charge, so they had to have a little meeting about it. But Livermore admitted his charge. The Bristol City player that got his suspension today, he admitted the charge as well. So why is there this discrepancy in that they got their suspensions last week, which meant they were missing for a cup game, but we got our suspension this week, which meant now we just missed the league games, and league games are more important than a cup game. But you would imagine, it's the FA. Like the FA, they're trying to make their cup competition as strong as possible. It's their competition. They run it. They take a cut of the ticket gates. So they probably want, as strong teams as possible. But then why did they suspend 2 Bristol City players last week? Why didn't they just delay it all until after the FA Cup 3rd round? And then the suspensions would have all been for league games. What are we doing here, man? What are we actually doing here? This is absolutely pathetic. What's the rhyme or reason for doing that? Someone's left a comment. Shall we see? What did they say? If Jason Knight started the fray, why was he not charged and suspended? Surely touching other teams' managers is a serious offence. Absolutely, Jeff Coe. Absolutely. Agree with you there. Fantastic stuff. So we know now. So what was it? How long is he out for? For Livermore's 4-match touchline ban. So he can go in the stand, but he'll just have to shout down at Alex Neil. Obviously, so 4 matches until the 4 match, that takes him to the rest of January. So that's the Watford game, the Coventry game, the Charlton game, the Sheffield United game. He's got a touchdown ban. Now, the Joel Coleman, he's a 2-game ban, so that's with Watford and Coventry. And you think, well, he's a third choice keeper, who cares anyway? Well, Bender's gone back. So he probably would have been the one on the bench. And even if he's not on the bench, they always bring 3 keepers to the games. They always bring 3 keepers to warm up. So what are they going to do now? They're going to have to bring an under-21 keeper along on Saturday, tomorrow? Not only that, but why is this all coming out on Friday before the game? So they published this in the afternoon. So is that when the club found out? Let's go back to it should give 8 hours ago. So it's midnight now. So that would have been what's 2 o'clock? So they tell us that now. Before a game, that's an early kickoff, by the way. So it's less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours before the game. Livermore and Coleman find out that they're going to be banned for that game. And it's absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. We need to get away from the FA being involved in this stuff. They should only do this for their own competitions. The EFL should have a third party for the EFL games. They should have a third party that isn't the FA to do this, because this is absolutely fucking ridiculous. This whole saga that they've done. Some of them being dished. Some of the what do you call it? My brain's not working. Some of the situations being handed out last week, some this week, and less than 24 hours before a fucking game kicks off, we find out that whether people are going to be banned or not. Absolutely fucking pathetic from the FA. This is absolutely ridiculous. And not only that, but not to charge Jason Knight, the person who set it all off. And not only have you got the cameras from the TV pictures, you've got Bristol City fans in the crowd, because now obviously everyone films everything nowadays. They film fucking everything. Their own fans are filming it and putting it online, and you can see what happens. So what are we doing here, man? What are we doing here? Anyway, let's move on to this. This is from southwarknews.co.uk, and it's a comment from Alex Neil. Looks like it's regarding Kamal Grant loan move. Like I said, we haven't brought anyone in. We've extended 2 players' contracts, and we've let players go out on a loan. Are we all right? Are you all right there? Does that mean we've got players coming in, or what's going on? There are certainly a lot of bodies there. Alex Neil thinks Mill will remain well covered at the back after Kamal Grant loan move. Well, there are rumours about, there's always rumours about Wes Harding leaving because, let's be honest, he's not at the level, is he? He'll be a very good player in League One. You've seen that. I don't know if you've been keeping track of, Murray Wallace and George Saville and the whatnot now that they've left and they're playing in League One. Huddersfield are in the playoffs. Murray Wallace signed for Huddersfield. Playing quite well, actually. Their fans, they appreciate his enthusiastic robustness. So, yeah. And the same, if Wes Harding goes to League One, I'm sure it'll be the same for him, that he will shine like a diamond. Exactly. Alex Neil says Mill will remain well covered at the back after Kamal Grant joined Blackpool on loan for the rest of the season. Grant, 22, completed the move to the League One club earlier this week. The defender made 4 appearances, all in the Cups, in his first campaign in and around the Lions first team, having spent the previous season and a half on loan at Bromley. Yeah, this was his first, season with the squad. Previously, he was on loan, but that was in League 2 at Bromley. So he was on loan at Bromley in the National League when they got promoted. He was on loan with them in League 2. And it looks like they're going to get promoted to League One. So I would say that might be good for us if we could get some players out to them on loan at a League One level. That would be good, although I wonder how the Bromley fans feel about that. Are they okay being like a Mill reserve team, a Mill B team? I don't know. I don't know how they feel about that. Alex Neil stressed last week the Mill would not sanction loan moves that left the squad light in certain areas, but believes they have enough cover defensively for Grant to go out. If you look at sort of the moment, Tristan plays centre back for the majority of his career. He's been playing right back for a lot for us at the moment. We got Lenny, who's played a lot of right back for us this season when Tristan was playing centre back, and we've got Danny, who's now back and fit and available. We've got Wes as well, who's now fit and available. And there's certainly a lot of bodies there. And what I've been finding of late is I've had two of the lads that I just mentioned missing squads recently. With Kamar, he was getting to the stage where we needed to get him out and get him some game time. The move will be Grant's first exposure to regular first-team football at League One level. He'd previously spent half a season in the National League and a full campaign in League Two with Bromley before testing himself against Championship and Premier League opposition for Millwall. Neil explained why it was the right time for him to go back out on loan. We kept Kamala in-house. We bought Caleb in the summer at the start of the season. Tristan was playing right back because we had Jaffet, and then we saw Jaffet, and Tristan then moved in at centre back, and Lenny was playing right back. So there's been a lot of chop and change, not purely in the back line, but in the midfield as well. And we felt that, from Kamala, we wanted to keep him in-house and see how he developed and see where he was. And I think the game is very different at the Championship level than it is for maybe League Two. So as far as the tactical element goes, for sure. And that was an area where we felt, we could help him way more than what he would have got exposure to there. But what we found is that in the first half, his opportunities have been limited, and we'll only see that continuing going forward. So we don't want to hold the lad back and prevent him from playing football. So I think it was important that we got him a good loan and we got him out so he can try and enjoy, sort of the rest of the second half of the season and get some minutes under his belt as well. From a tactical understanding, he's definitely improved on the start of the season. His game time's been limited, but equally, he's been training with the lads every single day, which will be different from what he's been used to, for sure, I would imagine, And that second half of the season should hopefully show you that. And that's what I'm hoping for, that he goes out on loan, he gets regular game time, he gets in a good rhythm, and shows everybody, what he's capable of doing. It was the next stage for him, he'd done League 2, he got promoted, and I felt that he needed to go on to a good League 1 team and show everybody his capability at that level. And it'll be a good challenge for him at a good club, and we'll be really interested to see how he gets on. I do wonder as well, bit harsh, because Burnley are a Premier League team. That game where he had a bit of a nightmare, didn't he, against Burnley, let's be fair, although, he did have Bender behind him in goal, but if that, precipitated it, that's like, probably might be worth getting him out on loan to League One. So, there you go. Fair play to Blackpool, for signing him on after seeing that, but, there you go. Now, there was a game today, the under-21s, they lost, but what a game it seemed to be. It was at the training ground. It was at Calmont Road. So yeah, Mill under-21s were beaten 5-2 by Swansea City in the Professional Development League on Friday afternoon. After the Swans went 1-0 up, an own goal and a strike from Jet Dyer put the Lions in the ascendancy, but two further first-half goals ensured the visitors went in and the half-time break in front. Yeah, it was 3-2 to Swansea at half-time. There were 5 goals in the first half. Swansea then had 2 more strikes in the second half to take all 3 points back to South Wales. Next up for Mills under-21s is a trip to Brentford on Tuesday the 20th of January. Yeah, they've got a rearranged game that they put in now. Short notice. It's at Wheatsheaf Park. I'll tell you about it probably in a later video, maybe Sunday, Monday. Which is Staines Town FC's grounds to some extent. It's where they play. So you will be able to go to that game on Tuesday afternoon. But the team for this game was Nidcombe, Payton, Dixon, Harry Taylor, Dyer, Kendall, Lamptey, Redhead, Howland, Thomas Smith, Whitby, and the subs were Lindner, Vieira, Parks, Benicio Baker, and Mansour. So yeah, they're missing a few players as well because mentioned last week with Frankie Baker's gone out on loan to Tunbridge and Celestine Charles has gone out on loan to Maidenhead United. So, that's basically the forward line. Basically, Frankie Baker, very strident player up front for the Mill under-21s. So there you go. Interesting to note, Mansour was named in the starting lineup, and for some reason before kickoff they changed it. I assume he got injured, but they just put him on the subs bench and didn't bring him on. I believe that Linda's the keeper. I believe Vieira and Benicio Baker got on. I'm not sure about Parks. Because I think Lamptey and Howland came off. Because obviously Lamptey and Howland, they're in and around the first team squad. Obviously they played. They both played last week. Yeah, they both played last week, didn't they, against Burnley? So that would suggest that they're not involved tomorrow. So if they're not involved tomorrow, surely that means Mazusako will be involved. Maybe Casper? Is Casper back? Are we going to have a surprise tomorrow? We'll see. But that would suggest that, if Lamptey and Howland have been sanctioned to play for the under-21s in this game, that they won't be involved tomorrow morning. So there you go. Now, let's have a look at the table for the under-21s. This is from flashscore.co.uk. It's in the middle so we can actually see it this time, rather than the other website I use. So Millwall 7th in the south table. We got 21 points. We got 15 games. We got won 7, drawn 0, and lost 8. Scored 30, conceded 30. So now this is incorrect because they've changed it. You don't have to finish in the top 2. You got to finish in the top 8. You finish in the top 8 south. You finish in the top 8 north. You go through to the playoffs, and I do believe that there is one trophy, and that's for one of the teams who gets the most points. So at the moment, that's Sheffield United. They are miles ahead of everyone else. They got 37 points, and Bournemouth have only got 27. So yeah, that's some difference there. Obviously, we're playing Brentford next, and much like last season, Bournemouth and Brentford are the two top teams, and should be a bit of a tough game, I would say, next Tuesday. So there you go. Now, I teased it earlier. Another youngster has gone out on loan, and I will show you now. It's Ajay Matthews. This is from bbc.co.uk. It's made that because he's gone on loan to League One Leyton Orient, which is surprising. That he got a League One move. Obviously, barely seen him play, but very interesting that Leyton Orient of League One have snapped him up. So yeah, let's have a look at this then. What's going on here? Leyton Orient brought in striker Ajay Matthews from Millwall and defender Caelan Casey from West Ham on loan until the end of the season. So it's a loan until the end of the season. Both players are available for the O's League One match against Reading on Saturday. Casey, 21, has made 2 appearances for the Irons and spent the first half of the season on loan with Swansea City, where he made 13 appearances. Matthews, 19, joined Millwall from Middlesbrough in January 2025, has made 3 senior appearances for the Lions. So there you go, interesting stuff. I would imagine that's probably to be on the bench there, but that's quite a level to go at. He's been on the bench over and over and over again for Millwall. He hasn't come on, even though at times Ivanovic and Langstaff, look absolutely ragged at the end of the games, and you think, well, just put some fresh legs on, put Matthews on. Like, all he's got to do is run around and close people down. It's not like he has to, do anything outstanding, but he hasn't been doing that. So you're thinking, why are you putting him on the bench if you're not going to use him? So they've decided to loan him out to League One team. But again, so now, what's the update? The January transfer window, we're literally halfway through. It's the 15th, or it's the 16th today. The window closes on February the 2nd, because that's the Monday, at 7 p.m. We've re-signed Jake Cooper. We've re-signed Sheldon Kendall. We've let Bender go back to Fulham. We've loaned out Kamal Grant. We've loaned out Ajay Matthews. The squad's getting thinner and thinner. But again, wages. I said this last week. If we see players going out on loan, that frees up money. It frees up the budget. We can bring players in. Not only that, obviously these are obviously Kamal Grant is an under 21 player, so he would have took up a squad place, and you're only allowed to have 25 players registered who are over the age of 21 in your squad. You have to give a registered squad. Not only that, I don't know if they're going to publish it at the end of the transfer window and update it. It would be interesting to see if they keep Luongo on that list. Obviously, he is going to be a Millwall player until the end of the season, but if he's injured until the end of the season, there's not really much point in him taking up a squad place. So it would be interesting if they don't register him in the official match squad until the end of the season. Obviously, he's still going to be contracted to us, but maybe we'll see. That's another place that we can use for someone else. So you've got Kamal Grant's place is free, Bender's place is free in the squad is free, and if they dump out Luongo, that's 3 places in the squad of 25 that you can use now. So we're going to see 3 players coming in. Would be good. Would certainly be good. But we'll see. Now, tickets. Highly anticipated. One of the highly anticipated fixtures. Obviously, Wrexham have got their way back up. They're at this level now, Division 2 of English football. Which means, first time in a long time that we're going to be playing them. And obviously an away game. Mill travel to Wrexham in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday the 7th of February. Kick off at 3 p.m. and tickets will go on sale. 2 season ticket holders, 700. What? 700? I think that's the highest number I've seen so far. 700 or more lottery points from 9:30 on Monday the 9th. So that's this Monday, Monday the 19th. All tickets for this fixture will be issued as digital print at home and will start to be sent from Monday the 2nd of February. Please ensure you have the correct email address on your ticketing account. So again, you get this absurd situation where if you're one of these people who goes down to the ground and you queue up there, you get to the thing, 1 ticket for Wrexham please, here's my 700, here's my card with 755 loyalty points on, and then you pay your money and then you get jack fucking shit. They don't give you a ticket. What a world we live in. What a world. How can they say that is a ticket? It's not a ticket. Jesus Christ. And as expected, you can see the cascade. But if we go down, so the tickets are priced at £26 for adults, £21 for over 65s, £21 for under 21s, £14 for under 18s, and £10 for under 14s. Where is it? We have an allocation of 1,293 tickets. Not an initial allocation. That's it. That's all we're getting. Their ground isn't that big. And I believe, I'm not sure if they've started it already. They're doing building work. Which I don't know if that affects our allocation or not. I think it's in the home end. They are starting to do building work. So yeah, 1,293. So I would imagine that these are going to be gone by probably by Friday, maybe even Thursday. So yeah, Monday is 700 or more lottery points. Tuesday the 20th, it's 680 or more lottery points. Wednesday the 21st, it's 660 or more, and you have to be a season ticket for this. This is all season ticket holders. No one else is going to get a sniff of this one. Thursday the 22nd is 630 or more lottery points. Friday the 23rd is 620 or less. So basically all other season ticket holders. It will definitely be gone by then. It might be gone before Thursday, I would imagine. But it certainly will be gone, I would say, 9:38 a.m. on Friday the 23rd. It's going to be gone because it's going to be all other season ticket holders. It's not even worth telling you about it. Members. Members ain't getting it. You're not getting it if you're a member. It's not happening. It's not happening. Or I do wonder, though. I've seen here and there, not regarding previous fixtures, that they say, contact the club, get yourself put on the list if there's any returns, etc., etc. Because obviously some people, they can't go. Instead of just selling it on the spares and say, I've got a spare, because they can't be hassled with all that shit. They just say to the club, look, can I return my ticket because I can't go? I do wonder how they deal with that then. Is it first come, first served, or if you're a member, does that give you a chance, or do they then look at the loyalty points and say, well, this person's got this many loyalty points, so they get the first choice on any returns? I'm not sure about that, but I'm not. I think that's very, I don't think there's that many people who are going to be doing that. Probably less than 20, I would imagine. So that's all the news for today. That's all the waffling I've got to do. Now we talk about the big game tomorrow. Top of the table clash away at Watford. Are you excited? Is that Kevin Nisbet? That looks like Kevin Nisbet there on the left. Mill travel to Watford in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday afternoon. Yes, it's kick-off at 12:30 p.m. It is an early kick-off because it's going to be on Sky Sports Plus. We'll get into that in a minute. He has been selected for TV coverage. The Lions back in league action following last weekend's exit from the Emirates FA Cup and begin a 3-game week, which sees them face two fellow top 6 candidates on the road, plus a local derby in SC16. Max Crocombe, Tristan Crammer, Caleb Taylor, Camille Negley, Femi Aziz and Mihajlo Ivanovic were all rested for the visit to Turf Moor. Were they, though? Maybe they're all injured. And are expected to be back in the fold this Saturday, as is Josh Coburn after his scoring return from injury. With Derek Mazusako set to miss out after picking up a knock shortly. Oh, he's not. Okay. We'll see about that. Maybe, I'm not sure. It's been a week. Surely it's fucking... the swallowing's gone down by now. Joel Coleman starts a 2-match suspension, whilst the fitness... Ooh, I told ya. Casper Denor and Luke Cundall will be accessed before kickoff. Well, if Rafik Lamptey played for the under-21s, then surely one of them must be fit enough to be on the bench for tomorrow. 100%. Dan Kelly, Will Smallbone, Lucas Jensen and Massimo Longo are out injured. Of course they are. Not long to go. 11 hours, 43 minutes and 43 seconds. Obviously, match passes are available. Right. Here we go. As mentioned, it is on Sky Sports Plus because it's an early kickoff. Here's the table. You can see why they've selected it, can't you? Indeed. Right. Let's have a look. In Great Britain, it's on Sky Sports Plus. Around the world, you can obviously watch it on Millwall TV. And it says here Bet365, but I don't know about that. In Ireland, it's on Sky Sports Plus as well. In the US of A, it's on Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime Video, and CBS Sports Golazzo. But isn't it something like... it's on the East Coast, it'll be, what would it be? 5 hours behind. So it'd be like 7 in the morning. Breakfast TV. Watch it in your pajamas, huh? Now, this is from livesoccertv.com, by the way. I forgot to mention that. This is from EFL.com, and they've chosen a Watford player for their thing. And I think is that the loser guy? Hamza Loser. This is the EFL match stat pack before the game. They keep doing this. They publish these things. They're from Opta. And some of them don't make sense. You have to read it and then you have to translate it. So let's get on with that. Watford have lost 5 of their last 7 league games against Millwall. So they've won 1, drawn 1, and they've lost 5 of the last 7, losing 1-0 away at the Den earlier this season. So this is obviously home and away. It's just the fixture, not the tie, not the fixture. Following a 2-1 win at Vicarage Road last season, Millwall are looking for consecutive away league wins at Watford for the first time since a run of 4 between October 1995 and January 2002. Ooh, that's ominous. That's ominous. So we don't win consecutively away at Watford. And, unless we did. Until we do, you know. This is good. This is good. This is good for us. No current side is on a longer championship winning run than Watford, who've won their last 4 games. The Hornets are looking to win 5 in a row for the first time since a run of 6 in March and April of 2021. In this division, winning 3 games in a row is an enormous feat of achievement. Winning 5 is incredible and is very rare. So will they be able to do that? Possibly, but, you know, each win probably means that they're likely not to win the next game, because it keeps building up and building up and building up. And they're not the best team in the world. So, you know, for them to win 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 7 in a row, 8 in a row, that's, you know, it's realistically not going to happen. But will it not happen tomorrow? Is that going to be the first game in the domino that stops the winning run? Since Alex Neil's first championship game in charge of Millwall, only Coventry City 93 have picked up more points than the Lions 80. So that's some gap there, 13-point gap. Neil's next game will be his 50th league game in charge. Hey, he's 23 wins so far, with only Mark McGee and the joint manager duo of Keith Stevens and Alan McCleary having won more in their first 50 games. Aha, but, what level were they at when they did that? They were in League One, weren't they? They were in League One when they did that. They weren't in the second division of English football. So I think Alex Neil, he trumps it on that. 23 wins from 50 games in Division 2 of English football. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant stuff. Let's keep it going. Let's win the league. Come on, Alex. You know you can do it. Watford have scored 16 goals when they've been losing in the Championship this season, 2 more than any other team has when they've been trailing. The Hornets have outshot their opponents 132 to 66 when losing, which is a plus 66 differential, with only Middlesbrough having a bigger difference in 25-26, which is plus 94. So basically, when they're losing, they go fucking nuts. They don't like it. They keep going. They keep going until the end. So, you know, if we go 1-0 up and you think, oh, well, you know, here we go. We got the game sewn up. Don't be too sure of that. So there's your match facts. Some good, some bad. Now, let's have a look at the historical record between, you know, Watford and Millwall. Here we go. This is from v11.com. Goes all the way back to Division 3 South, November 1920, the first season in the Football League. And we played Watford quite a few times. You know, we've been in the same league a lot. This is a very streaky fixture, Watford versus Millwall. Very streaky. You've got 4 wins in a row here for us. You've got 5 draws in a row down here. And then if you add on the win and then the other draw, that's all of these games without losing, going from the 30s, the 40s and the 50s. We've got 5 defeats in a row, and then we go on again a run of games without losing. So it's very streaky. We've got the 4 wins in a row that was mentioned previously. This is the last time we strung 2 wins together in a row away at Watford, 2002, which is 24 years ago now. Wow, doesn't time fly? That game there, by the way, you may remember that. If you don't, I'll jog your memory. The 1st of January 2002, 4-1 win. Do you remember why that's famous? Do you remember? We was wearing a green kit, and that was the first game back, I believe. Neil Harris came off the bench, and he scored. I believe it was his first game back from cancer treatment. I'm not sure if it was his first game back or his first goal back, but he got lofted by everyone. Even Tony Warner ran down the pitch. They all lifted him up in the air, and you got the iconic photograph that we got from that. So yeah, that was that game. And it was at Vicarage Road. So there you go. Not only that, but I believe this fixture, if Jay Cooper plays in this, he then overtakes Alan McCleary. So isn't it funny how these things go around, huh? And then we go on this another streak here. So we got 2011. We got, what's that, 6 games without a win. Or 6 games without a win. 1 draw and 5 defeats. So yeah, it's very streaky, but the streak at the moment is a good one for us, The last 3 games away at Watford. The last time out, we won 2-1. Before that, it was a 2-2 draw. And before that, it was a 2-0 win. So in the previous 3 games away at Watford, we scored 2 goals in each of the games. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'll take some of that. And that was, that was before Alex Neil, wasn't it? Well, the 8th of March. The 8th of March, that would have been Alex Neil, wouldn't it? So yeah. But before that, under Gary Rowett, we still managed to score 2 goals up there. So yeah, let's have some of that. So yeah, very streaky game. And at the moment, the streak is win, draw, win. And these streaks usually last about 4 to 6 games, really. And it does seem to be on the basically current situation regarding the clubs. Obviously, we're on our uppers at the moment. We're doing fantastic under Alex Neil. And the club in general is going from strength to strength, both on and off the pitch. Just everyone's waiting for these signings that we're going to make in this window. But other than that, it's all going peachy, innit? Watford, they had their moments. They got rid of the managers over and over again. And they got rid of the manager. They put a manager in at the start of the season, didn't work out. And they've gone back to one that they previously sacked. Who seemingly was liked by the players and the fans alike. But he ended up getting sacked anyway. So he's back now. And he's winning games of football. So we'll see how we go. So let's have a look. Let's have preview and predictions. What have we got? Right. On the right hand side, the match facts. Watford have won their last 4 matches in the Championship. Where we know about that, yeah. Millwall have scored at least 2 goals in the last 3 away matches against Watford. Oh, yeah, I just mentioned that as well. So there you go. Back into the middle. Right, the last 6 games away at Watford, we have won 3, we've drawn 1, and we've lost 2. No, it's been 3 home wins, 1 draw, and we've won 2. 11 goals for them, 7 goals for us, 8 yellow cards for them, 15 for us. We outperformed them in yellow cards 2-1, and there's been 1 red card apiece. Interesting. So they've kept 2 clean sheets and we've kept 1. So it's not a game for clean sheets. It might be a both teams to score. So here's the table at the moment. Obviously we are 5th, they are 6th, but they have a game in hand of us. Yes, they do. And as mentioned, they're on a 4-game winning run, but they're also on at least a 6-game without a defeat run, from what we can see here, And we ourselves, because it goes from the right hand side, are on a 4-game without defeat run. We did lose, was that the Blackburn game? Yeah, before that it would have been the whole game. But we have turned it around, and seemingly, obviously, when Femi Aziz comes back. Femi Aziz wasn't available, we lose the games. Femi Aziz comes back, we start winning some games, or drawing them at least. So, yeah, isn't that funny how that works out? Right, so let's have a look at the full table. What have we got? So there was a game today, and that was Middlesbrough beating West Brom 3-2. So, bit cheeky of them, because we're trying to catch up to them. And they've gone out on 1 today. And Jed Wallace did score to make it 2-2 in the 80th minute. And then Middlesbrough scored right at the end of the game to make it 3-2, I believe. I didn't watch it, but I believe from reading things on social media, that's what happened. So, worst case scenario, if we lose tomorrow, obviously we will be overtaken by Watford. They will be on 44, we'll stay on 43. That's not good. So let's hope we don't do that. We could also drop down to 9th. Obviously Hull, Stoke and Wrexham can jump above us because we got bad goal difference. So it could be snakes and ladders, and we could slide all the way down to 9th if we lose tomorrow. That would be pretty upsetting. But Wrexham as well, there's another team. They're on a 4-game winning run at the moment. Can they keep that up? We'll see. Obviously, as mentioned, they are one of the teams into the next round of the FA Cup, so hopefully that will distract them in a month's time. But we'll see how they get on before then. Now, best case scenario, if we do win tomorrow, we'll get on 46 points, and obviously we are an early kick-off. I'm not sure what the other games are, but Ipswich and Preston will jump up to 3rd, and then it's going to be up to them to try and catch us up. So that would be nice to get that out of the way, and then sit back and watch the other games' results come in. Right, while we're here, home form. How good are Watford at home? Oh dear, they are very good at home. They've only lost 1 game so far this season at home. And they've only conceded 12 goals. They've won 8, they've drawn 4. So, better than our home form, really, by 2 points. Away games, we're 10th. So, yeah, it really has been Watford's home form that has seen them at the top of the table. So, there you go with that. So, let's have a look at the form table at the moment overall. They haven't, in the last 6 games, they haven't lost a game, so they're top of the form table. We are equally balanced, 2-2-2 over the last 6. Okay. What about... No, it's okay. Let's move on. Right, so here are the last 6 games. Away games for Millwall and home games for Watford. Impressive as Watford's results have been, if you look at their last 6 home games, who have they beaten? Well, they didn't beat Sheffield Wednesday. That was a 1-1 draw. They did beat Norwich, who are in the relegation places. They didn't beat Preston, who are a team at the top of the table. They drew 1-1 with them. They didn't beat Bristol City, who again are a team at the top of the table. They drew 1-1 with them. They did beat Stoke, who, if we go back to the table, they're at the top of the table as well, aren't they? Well, they were. Yeah, they're 8th. So they did beat them, but only 1-0. They only beat them. So they could only score 1 goal against Bristol City, 1 goal against Preston, 1 goal against Stoke, and for some bizarre reason, only 1 goal against Sheffield Wednesday, who they then conceded against. Now, in their last 2 home games, they have kept 2 clean sheets against Stoke and against Birmingham. But, is it a case of what we saw before that, the run of fixtures that they're on, the way the fixture calendar has worked out for them, has been fortuitous. It's meant that they could string these performances together because they haven't played any good teams. This league this season is not very good. Let's be fair. It's not very good. So, but again, you can only beat who's in front of you. And if we look at Millwall, obviously these are all league games as well. Last time out, that's a cup game. But before that, we kept a clean sheet against Southampton, but it was a 0-0 draw. We failed to score. Again, as mentioned, obviously Femi was back for this game, but this game Femi wasn't around. We gave Blackburn both of those goals in error, calamitous defensive performance, and we lost 2-0. Before that, a credible 1-1 away draw at Derby. Again, 2 own goals, an own goal from us, an own goal for them. And we beat Bristol City 1-0. And we lost in pissing down rain away at Portsmouth. It's a bit of a mixed bag, really, shall we say. So, it doesn't really fill you with that much confidence. It's like a mad mixed bag of results there, covering the whole spectrum of performances, but only one win. And that was away at Bristol City. We certainly need... Can we win this game? It's not going to be easy by looking at this. Here's the strengths and weaknesses, and as you can see, as we got a lot more weaknesses than they do, according to this. So there you go. Right, where's the prediction? Oh, that's on the next page. Okay, here we go. This, again, from whoscored.com, the prediction. What we got? Oh, hang on. Callum Wiley has returned to Chelsea from his loan amidst his latest injury layoff. Oh, he's injured anyway, okay. Mamadou Doumbé has returned from international duty at AFCON. Yeah, the players that they had at AFCON, they've come back now. Okay. Here we go. Watford failed to contain the attacking threat of Emil Reese last weekend as the Bristol City strikers got a hat-trick in a dominant 5-1 win for the Robins in the FA Cup third round. That was an away game, that's why it wasn't listed on the thing there. The Hornets are, however, chasing a 5th straight championship victory as they welcome Millwall to Vicarage Road. Millwall were outclassed by Premier League strugglers Burnley in the FA Cup last weekend as Ashley Barnes' brace inspired a 5-1 victory at Turf Moor for Scott Parker's side in the league, though Alex Neil's side are unbeaten in 4 and sat 5th in the standings after beating Swansea in stoppage time 2 weeks ago. And they say it's going to be Watford 2, Millwall 1. Watford 2, Millwall 1. I mean, if you look over on the right-hand side in terms of top players, ratings-wise, pretty similar. Goals-wise, they're pretty similar. They're, for all that they've done, their individual players are only 1 goal ahead. So it looks like they have more players scoring. They spread out more. And the assists, so that loser guy, you've got to watch out for him. But, much of a muchness. So 2-1 they reckon, 2-1. So let's get on to a second opinion, as we always do, from sportsmile.co.uk. What do they say? And we're not going to read all this, because it's been 52 minutes so far, and we're just going to be repeating ourselves a bit, really, and what's the point in that? So we're just going to scroll down until we get to the point where it says what they think the score's going to be. They say Watford 2, Millwall 0. Millwall may be a point better off than Watford, but they have failed to win the last 4 away games. Taking that into account, we think the Hornets will make full use of home advantage to record a 5th consecutive league win. So they both got us to lose. 2-0 and 2-1. I don't... Again, the streaks need to end. At some point they need to end. And I would say... we made the smart decision, which it seems they didn't do. They put out seemingly does it say who played for them last week in this thing? So it doesn't say if they rotated their squad. But they lost 5-1 at Bristol City. So if they didn't change that many players and they lost 5-1 away at Bristol City, that's going to be pretty fucking damning. But you look at us, we left all of our better players out and we collapsed to a 5-1 defeat. And, two of the worst performers in that are now no longer at the club. Bendo's immediately, shipped back to Fulham. And Kamal Grant's gone out on loan to League One and Blackpool. So, what does that do to the psyche of a footballer? And not only him, but them, but the ones around them. That, okay, these players, when they don't play, the team is fucking dog shit. But when they do play, we win and we're at the top of the table. Crammer, Crocombe, Aziz, etc., etc. So, there you go. That's the pecking order, Put a bit of respect on their name. I know we don't play for draws, but I think this is probably going to be a draw. I could see it being 1-1. As mentioned, Watford keep going until the end. They just attack. So they go nuts for that. So it wouldn't surprise me if we took the lead and then, it became 1-1 later on. So, yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.